that a lot.
What's up, everybody? Wolf from Walmart. We're back. We're back, baby, again.
Not a bad fish right there, guys.
No.
Out here catching Folsom bass right now, dude. Woo, he's a little chunker. What up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? Thanks for listening. If you're listening, if you still listen, I have been gone for a very long time. Yes, I have. But thank you for listening to this episode. I will start with some house cleaning real quick. Work's been crazy, so you haven't seen me for a while. We have a new baby. I'll be tired a lot. Kayak Adventure Series is still running the show. Those guys are getting ready to kick off Tallahassee here pretty quick. I'm really excited for those dudes. So congratulations to Drew and everybody over there. Have a good time in Florida. Please send me pictures because I live vicariously through everybody else right now. And I also want to go ahead and thank these guys real quick.
What up, dudes and dudettes? I'm sure you're tired of hearing my voice by now, but you're going to hear it for a little bit longer because this is a shout out to the sponsor of this show, Kayak City. Kayak City has been taking care of me ever since I started getting into a boat and paddling around in the water trying to catch some fish. And when I tell you it is Kayak City, it is literally like a city of kayaks. They have Bonafide, Eddy Line, Feel Free, Hobie, Jackson, Native, New Canoe, Old Town, Wilderness Systems, and so many used kayaks. I stopped trying to count them a long time ago. If you guys are looking for accessories, they have walls and walls and walls of accessories. They have one wall dedicated specifically to Yak Attack, and it is a massive wall. Kayak City is your #1 Yak Attack dealer here in Northern California. If you want to know where it is, stop by at 7812 Auburn Boulevard, Citrus Heights, CA. Roll through, say what up to James, Troy, Eric, Scott. Tell them Dave says what's up and tell them I sent you there. Thanks for listening.
Also, another awkward moment for people who have listened to the show before. Yep, we're coming to you on a Monday. Happy Monday. That's a great way to start your week. At least I feel it's a good way to start your week because at least you have something to listen to. Because I double checked with just about everybody and I haven't seen a show that comes out on Monday besides BTL. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to Monday so we're not kind of overlapping anybody else because I'm not trying to, muddy the water with everybody. I just want everybody to have as much information as possible all week long. So happy Monday. And I have a guest for you guys tonight that is incredible. He's an incredible dude. It was introduced to him by people who are not in fishing necessarily, but I had been following him in fishing for a while. But I kept getting this video of a guy fishing on his kayak in his front yard because his wife won't let him go fish. And it's probably the most relatable thing I've ever seen in my life. I was cracking up. I'm like, this dude's hilarious. So I started following him on the social medias and I went to his Facebook. And the first thing I see on his Facebook, he's opening up the word and just reading scripture straight out of the word at the fishing spot, which I was like, all right, this dude is 1000% legit. I have to contact this guy. I need to get a hold of him. I want not only to have him on the podcast, but I just kind of want to get to know him more because he's a solid individual. So without further ado, I bring to you Sir Luis Delgado.
What's going on, man?
How are you, dude?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I'm well, man. I'm well, dude. I can't.
Hey, that's dad life, dude.
Yeah.
Dad life.
I can't. Hey, you're about to be there again, right, dude?
Yeah, this will be my third girl, man. Lord have mercy, dude.
Patience of a saint, dude. Man,
Oh my gosh.
Girls are different. I have a boy, a girl, and now a boy again. And boys, with my son, I was just, he's my boy.
Yeah.
But with my daughter, there's so many more feelings and so much more cuddling needed. And I'm okay.
It's a different world. It's a different universe. And then dude, I think, men who have daughters only, I think they'll understand this because you don't just have your daughters, you have your wife too. So it's me, my 3 baby girls. So 2 right now, but the 3rd on the way. And then my wife. Dude, I'm outnumbered, bro. I'm out. And oh man, but I mean, I can't lie. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
I'm not going to say she's my favorite, but it's my favorite relationship to interact with. Like she
Yeah.
has this
Yeah.
emotional like connection with me and this imagination that okay, a princess crown and fingernail paint, let's go. Like
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
less. I'm there, you know. So
Yeah, dude.
my
Yeah,
son
dude.
was always like asking me, "Hey, Dad, can we do this, that, and the other?" I'm like, okay, you know. Whatever. My daughter's like, "Daddy, can I?" I'm like, "Yes, I don't care."
Yes,
Like
immediately.
yesterday, we got
Yeah.
ice cream right before bed. That was my mistake, but it was,
Yeah.
"Daddy, can I have ice cream?" All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So let's start it off from the beginning. You know, I used to start off the show with, "Okay, dude, so you were born." You know, well, everybody was born. I just thought it was a funny line to start with, but like you have way more of an intricate, interesting story, like hands down. So I would love to start with you, like early childhood, like kind of when
Yeah.
and where were you born, and like how that relationship evolved. Do you have siblings, and where did you go? Because I know that you started here and then you moved back to Mexico. We've talked about this a little bit, so I would
Yeah.
love for you
Yeah.
to just kind of give everybody like that backstory of you, because who you are is an incredible person now. There's a long journey that took you to get there.
Yeah. Thank you, man. So, for everyone listening, I always start off, if you ever catch me on a podcast or something like that, I will always unregrettably, say an intro with this. I am like the American dream in the flesh. So when you look at my life, you see literally the stereotypical, in a great way, right? What the American dream is, should be, and could be for everyone else. And that is not like let me be clear, it's not like this deep political statement or anything like that. No, I'm talking about like living a life of purpose and fulfillment and freedom and enjoying, all of those great things that we get to have. And I'll explain it with this. My parents came here from Mexico looking for a better life. Crazy enough, here in Georgia, this is, people call it the peach state, but it's actually the poultry state. I think we actually have more peanuts and chicken than anything else. I mean, it's insane. We've got chicken everywhere here. So we had some chicken factories open up here in the 90s. There was some close to Lake Lanier here, a very famous lake in the southeast, and they came up here to work. And my parents, they came from straight poverty. I mean, like straight poverty in Mexico. And I think my dad had maybe like a third grade education, right? They came here not speaking English, not knowing anything. And they came and they assimilated to the culture for some time. And then they got a job opportunity back in Mexico. They went back, but things were never stable there. So, at around 5 years old, we just came back and we're like, we're gonna stay here in the U.S. and build our lives. We're gonna assimilate to the culture and to the community and raise our children here. So, that's where I grew up. I grew up in Gainesville, Georgia, with my mom and dad, and then my younger brother. It's about 5 years younger. But then, a few years later, my parents were surprised and they had another kid. And he's like 20 years younger than me. It's crazy. I could be his dad. But, oh man, my parents were just like, how did this happen? Because at that age, you go through everything you can to, okay, we're done, we're settled.
Mhm.
But no, they had one more, and they named him Isaac. And so yeah, man. I mean, in a nutshell, that was kind of my childhood. A lot of confusion about who I was as a person, because I loved baseball, I loved fishing, I loved hunting, and it was weird because I was too Mexican for like the white folks,
Mhm.
and like I was too white for the Mexican community. Dude, growing up, dude, I genuinely like never fit in. Like I never fit into any one stereotype or the other. But where my dad came from in Monterey, that's the major city. The town is called Santa Isabel. Like they love fishing and the outdoors. They love baseball. And so he just brought that way of life here with him. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like you already have like this influence, like you already have these passions, but then you come here and it's like you're kind of like getting it from both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little bit of like the stress. You know, I can relate in a way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I have like some sort of crazy backstory where it's fully relatable, but I understand like not fitting in your own skin and not fitting in your
Mhm.
environment no matter what you do. Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
super awkward. So then you feel like you're almost like crawling out of your skin to try and be something different, or you just want that connection with people and you're not getting it. So how
Yeah.
did that work for you as a child, like coming back? Like how did that do you feel like that made you stronger and give you more drive to like focus on the things that you want, or was it more along the lines of a constant struggle of just trying to fit in?
No, man, it was a constant struggle. Like it was constant struggle. High school was hard, dude. And I'll never forget this. And dude, I like to be open in my conversations, right, about life, and I think
Yeah.
we can all learn from each other. So I never mind sharing, but like, dude, uh, again, not trying to be like stereotypical, but a lot of the like people in the Hispanic community, they were into like, cars, souped up cars, playing soccer,
Mhm.
dressing a certain way. That was that community. And then like had like my white buddies. We played baseball. They liked country music. It's Georgia. I mean, and like, classic rock. I'll never forget that. And just a totally different way of living and dressing. Like they dressed a very certain way, back in the very early 2000s. And dude, it was a constant battle, man. I mean, it was so back and forth. I'm going to give you this one statement
Mhm.
that a buddy told me one time. He was a very close friend of mine, and he made a statement about the Hispanics that were in the hallway, right? And it really caught me off guard. It was one of those like them statements, like them,
Mhm.
and it caught me off guard. And I was like, well, wait a minute, I am them, am I not? And he looked at me and he said, well, not you. You don't count because you're not like them. You're different. So, dude, I'm telling you, I mean, it was so hard. And then my Spanish when I was younger, my Spanish wasn't great. It's way better now. I made it a point to work on it. It's 100% better now. But before, dude, I didn't really understand much,
Yeah.
and so I never felt right anywhere, bro. It was tough for a
Yeah.
while.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
dude. Okay. I do have a question just about the Spanish in general because I grew up with
yeah.
Spanish. What can you give me like the type of Spanish that you guys spoke? Because where I grew up, it was a lot of like dirty Spanish, like Nicaraguan,
Yeah.
and like when I say
Mm.
dirty Spanish, it's just more guttural sounding. And for people
Mhm.
who don't understand the Hispanic culture, where you're from, you have a different dialect. And how I can relate that is American English, the Queen's English, and Australian.
Mhm.
They
Yeah,
all say
that's right.
similar, but there's little sayings and little nuances that are always different. The slang is complete, or the accents are completely different. So, what kind of Spanish did you grow up learning, or
Yeah,
you taught yourself?
yeah, yeah. So here, like the biggest community here was Mexican because majority of that community came to work in the poultry and the chicken factories in town.
Mhm.
So most of them were Mexican. So I grew up, hearing a lot of Mexican Spanish, which made sense. My parents are Mexican, so. But as I got older, I really learned to understand and master and speak a more neutral, like a more, yeah, I'd say like a more neutral Spanish that I could speak with, like Colombians, Venezuelans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. I started understanding their slang a little bit. I pastored a really big church. I mean, and I specifically pastored the Hispanic community.
Mhm.
And the church itself had like 25,000 people across the states. So it's a very, very multicultural, very big. So I mean, I was in contact with different Latin American people every day. So that taught me a lot. But when I was in high school, man, it was just straight Mexican Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'm always genuinely curious about that because
Yeah, dude.
I've heard I know enough to not get beat up, but I also know enough to get myself in a lot of trouble too. So it's like
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I
weird
get that.
balance. Yeah. But it's not like I'm not going to walk around saying I know Spanish all fluently, but I also work construction for a living, so the things that I don't know, I can pick up with the guys. Like, hey, what? And
Yeah.
like, they'll say it means this. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. I'll like go back to work. Like, but
Yeah.
it's always interesting to pick up, different dialects and stuff. So, okay, so from high school, awkward, but you're still into hunting, fishing, baseball. Are you doing something with baseball, or is it just like one of those fun pastimes? Are you like?
Yeah, I was actually really good. Like as I was getting older, I was invited to go to the Dominican to play. Right now, prospects in DR, and it's a really big thing, and it's been a big thing since like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now going to like the Dominican over summer for an academy or a camp or working with, it's kind of a big thing right now. And it was back then too. But I was invited to do that. I went and did some, I believe it was called like the All American Showcase, and I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I was actually really good. Poised to go play, somewhere in college, whether it be D2, D1, NAIA was the other one, or JUCO. And my goal, man, was to, get really good and go play in DR or go play in Mexico, gain some size, gain some speed, and then come back and try to play in the minors here in the US and see what I could do with it. So yeah,
Dude.
that was my number one thing that I was doing, not because I did like it, but it wasn't like this like crazy passion. It's just that my dad, he really wanted me to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And hey, dude, to me, it sounds like you have one of those Midas touch things. Like wherever you end up, you got enough drive where you end up making it gold, dude. So that's awesome.
I don't know, man.
It's good, dude. That's the grind, dude. That's the hustle. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening with the baseball? Were you just like one day you're like, Dad, no, I'm not going to do this anymore? Or was it?
It was a mix. I think, dude, I've learned in my life, and as you know, like I'm a person of faith, man. I love the Lord. I believe in Jesus. I don't care. Like I am unashamed about that.
Yeah.
And like my entire life, dude. My parents were very religious, not in a good way. Not in a good way, not in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up understanding religion very differently than what I do now. And I say all that to say this. I've learned that in my life, dude, what I think to be like a very bad day or a bad situation has actually ended up being like the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. So in college, man, I pretty much just destroyed my shoulder. I didn't have enough muscle on my body, is what my doctors would tell me, is like, to protect the ligaments and everything. So I blew my shoulder out, just overuse.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever, back then, dude, that wasn't like a big, now it's totally different. These kids are so taken care of now compared to before, and everything that's all the info that's out there now. Back then it was like, dude, you're pitching this game, you're pitching the next game, and then like you're pitching next week. So it was insane, bro.
Yeah, it's 75 pitches now. Kids get 75 pitches and then they have to
really.
Yeah,
really
for my son's little league, they would do also little, but it was 75 pitches and you're out for the rest of the game, and then you don't pitch the next game.
Dude, that's actually great. I know so many people that like they threw their shoulders out or ruined their arms like in 15, 16, 17 years old, 18, like crazy. But yeah, dude, I blew my shoulder out and then had this major identity crisis. Well, what am I supposed to do now? And that's where I realized, like, man, I really like, this is cool. Baseball is cool. I like, I like it, but this ain't my thing, man. Like I play a few instruments. I used to do music. I write, I used to do public speaking, like motivational speaking or just preaching and all that stuff. And I was like, man, there's so many other things that I want to do. And I used to love being outside, fishing, hunting, and all that stuff. I was like, maybe I should just kind of, give it a rest, let it go. And I did. And I got my shoulder healed up, and I went back, and I went back to this Christian university to do a tryout, and they were like, we would love to have you. And the coach just looked at me, man. He didn't even know me. He's like, I'd love to have you. He's like, but I think the calling on your life would be like hindered if you were to come back and play ball with us, because this would have to be your life. And dude, he didn't put me on the team because of that. He was like, he's like, I'd love to have you. He's like, you're great. And he was like, but I don't think, and I don't think this is what you need to be doing. And I was like, hey, all right, confirmation. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So we're gonna jump a little bit, but I just want to know
Yeah.
when was your introduction? You said you grew up religious, but when was your actual introduction to the Lord? Like, when did you make that turn for yourself?
Dude, I was a junior, man. So my best friend in high school, he passed away from cancer, and that was brutal to watch. That was super hard, and I didn't take that well. I didn't handle that well. So I was angry at God for a long time, dude. Like, I was upset, mad, bitter. And dude, I just remember the first 2 years of college, like I was a mess, man. I was a disaster, very isolated, refused to talk to people, refused to, you know, interact with people. I tried my best to stay away from everybody. And it all came from, the pain of watching him go through cancer. We thought he beat it, and then, it came back, and it took him out. And we were, our I still remember the conversation. Um, we wanted to go play at the same college together. We wanted to go play ball together. We even went to like a few different tryouts together, and that was the goal. And after those tryouts, that's when he got diagnosed with cancer. I think it was our junior year of high school.
Oof.
He got diagnosed. So he battled that for like 2 years.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so
And
that was
so
you leaned in, or how did that work? Because
yeah, so that's when I pulled away. And then my junior year in college, I was like, man, I just, dude, I was so miserable. I was like, I can't keep living like this. I'm not going anywhere like this. And so I drove home to my old bedroom back home. And that night I just prayed and I said, Lord, I need to figure out who you are for myself. I don't know you. I have no clue like who you are or how this relationship works. I was like, I need you to come into my life and make me new. And that's when I accepted Jesus for me, like for myself, not because my parents used to take me to church all the time.
yeah,
That was the first time for me.
that's beautiful, dude. Like I hmm. We'll talk off, but off the script, I can relate to a lot of that. Like
Yeah.
I'm actually going through some of that in the last year myself. Like it's a weird thing. At least for me, it's hard for me to let a lot of things go. Like, I still swear I'm not the quality
Yeah.
human that most people are. But my belief is I've rededicated my life in a way, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So moving from there, you were in college. You have this beautiful relationship that you've rekindled with Christ, and you are trying out for the team. The coach says, "Dude, this is kind of blocking where I'm being led to believe that you need to be." So where did that take you? Like you said, you kind of have like no person at that point. You're just kind of like, okay,
Dude,
no
dude,
identity.
I quit everything, and I chased the Lord. I quit school. I mean, junior year, bro, I dropped out. I said, you know what? And man, I'm done with all this. I was like, I'm done with all this. So I literally, I had a friend, his name's Chris Carlton. I love this guy. He put a spiritual leadership book in my hands, and he was the first person to basically try to disciple me and say, dude, I believe in you, and I believe in who you are, like, and who God wants you to be. And he put that book in my hand, dude, changed my life. It put me on this journey of like leadership, self-growth. Dude, I quit school. I started literally with my best friend, Will. We would go and like preach to homeless people. We would raise money on our own and we would feed them. We would go clothe homeless people. We would bus kids, like lower income children. Dude, we were like busing them to like church. And so, together we started looking around for a home church here in our area. And, we went and visited a few different churches. We finally connected with one, and we were like, look, we have this ministry. And what happened, dude, is like, let me backtrack a little bit. So what happened is we were doing music as well. We were doing Christian hip hop. So like I said, I play instruments, I produced, and all that. And so, dude, we were like just renting church buildings out like on Saturdays. Then we'd be like, guys, we're going to be here this Saturday. Come join us. And like 50 people would show up, 60 people. But it started getting bigger and bigger. I was like, we got to find a home church. We got all these people following us. And so we found a home church, and we connected with their youth ministry. And dude, that's what we did. Like, I worked at the church part-time. They were kind enough to give me a job. And then I planted the Hispanic church within that American church, like the Hispanic version. I planted that as the lead pastor straight out of college. Dude, and that's what we did. That's what our lives were. We were busing kids to church. We were feeding the homeless. Dude, I was learning how to preach, how to minister, how to mentor, how to guide people through life without jacking them up religiously. Seriously, I was the best way I could describe it, man, is like I was learning to love humanity, and it was very messy, and it was a very long process. But man, like that is what started this whole like development for me, like from my 20s, to my, my third, to when I turned 30. But yeah, dude, that's where I ended up after that. Like I just quit everything, and I was like, I'm just going to pursue the Lord, and dude, that's what happened.
Dude, that's beautiful. I love that. And learning, like, you got a book, and then the rest you're just learning on the fly, and you've literally you've brought so many people to just a better, like, a relationship with the Lord and a better way of life, like on the fly. You didn't have any coaching or anybody like, all right, now you need to learn how to, disciple to people. You're just like, dude, I'm just going off what this one book says. Like the Bible works for me, and I'm going to hand it over to these people. And that's amazing, dude. I love that.
Yeah, dude, it was a fun time, man.
So you said you did music. Did you have a small career in music, or was that your intro to music right there? How did that work?
No, I had a small career, like we actually, we actually toured. It was me, my best friend. I got my little brother a set of like these little turntables, and he he learned how to DJ. Till this day, he's working in the music industry. He's a very talented DJ, and he manages. I mean, I can't say who he's going on tour with, but he's going on tour with, like, I'll say the artist he's going on tour with is like a Drake or a Jeezy. He tours with like big people. Sometimes he'll do music, sometimes he'll do the logistics stuff, manage that stuff, but it all started in our bedroom, and yeah, we toured, and we did festivals with thousands of people. We opened up shows for like bigger Christian artists. So we got to do, we dropped an album, and we did our thing, and we actually had some serious gigs, man. So yeah, it was fun.
Hey, dude, that's awesome. Sorry, I grew up I'm a little bit older than you, so like there was DC Talk for like hip hop. There's like DC Talk that was like it turned not to be hip hop, but at the time it was earlier. And then there was like Grits and a couple other groups where you're like, and Grits hit it. Like they had that ooh ah song that like but before that, like I had a couple of their albums, and I was like, I mean, this is heavy. As a kid, I was like, these dudes are heavy. Like I'm not gonna lie. So but yeah, I mean, that was my only like small, because my mom was like, oh, you like this music? All right, let me get you this. And we had a Lighthouse Christian bookstore, so she was like getting me these Christian albums, and I was like, okay, like I'll listen to them too. And I just kind of threw them in the mix, and some of it was really cool, and some of it I'm like,
this ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not all about the money and the all that, the money and the bitches and all that kind of stuff. But like at the same time, this isn't it either, Mom. I think I'm somewhere down the middle. We need to find that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Point being,
I understand.
Side tangent. Yeah, that's really interesting. Do you mind saying the name of the group, or are you just kind of keeping that to the chest? Or
no, that's okay. We used to go under the name of like Red Society. So there was there was three of us. We ended up getting a really talented singer to do the album with us a little bit later on, and yeah, that's how we toured it, by that group named Red Society.
That's awesome. I'm gonna look this stuff up afterwards. I'm gonna be like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll find it. It's somewhere, dude. This was like over 10 years ago, so it's somewhere online. It's still out there somewhere. I'll send you the link. I can send you the link.
hell yeah, please do,
Yeah,
because I'm all
yeah.
I listen to music nonstop, so
Nice.
appreciate it. No, so okay, so music, you're now a lead pastor by basically like falling into this just by doing what you believe is like right. You're trying to lead people to the Lord, and the next thing you know, you are the lead pastor of a Hispanic church, right? Where does that put you? Like, is this a time around the time where you met your wife, or are you even allowed to be a pastor without being married? Like, how does that work?
That is the perfect segue to what's next, dude. So this is where my life gets really messy right here. So for anybody listening who's under 30 years old, this is a great time to like really dial in right here. So the best way to learn from life is to live it. I mean, like seriously,
Yeah.
live that thing. Live it. If you are in your 20s, it is time to live and try to figure out who you are, try to figure out, you know, what really matters. Fail, succeed, you know, it's the time to try. And so, dude, I'm sitting here, man. That church that we found,
Mhm.
well, you know, I moved to a bigger church, okay, and I got it. I was trying to get on staff at that big church, and bro, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I've always lived this way. I was working, I was working towards like, okay, I want to work here and do something super impactful. Mm. And at the time, my mentors, that's another thing I learned in life. Like, it's good to have good mentors. My mentors were obviously all pastors. A couple of them were speaking life into me on a daily basis. And they would always tell me with good intentions, you need to get married. However, a lot of pastors make that mistake of like, hey, you need to get married, but like, let's do this the right way. And so there was a lot of fear because, dude, you get saved, but the process of discipleship and walking out that salvation is messy.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
it's the salvation part. It's eternity. That's permanent, but you're still a human being with flesh and bone and emotion. And so there was still a lot of, yeah, cheers to that, bro, for real. Seriously. And so, like, there was a lot of fear in me and insecurity and still figuring out who I was. Things weren't perfect.
Yeah, you're in your
And
20s.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember this pastor, his name was Pastor Benjamin, love him to death, dude. Such a good guy. But he was also in an accelerated growth track as well, older than me, but he was also going through like this crazy adventure in life. And he was like, you need to get married. He's like, you need to get married. You need to get married. And so, I started dating this girl. We got married too fast.
Mm.
And we both worked at the church. And, like, over time, like, we had our first and only kid. And then after some time, I think the best way I remember it is, he looked at me one day and said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't, I don't believe in this. And then, dude, when someone tells you that, bro, what can you do other than respect that person? Obviously, as a pastor and as a husband and a father, and I'm sitting there like, okay, we have to fight for this and we've got to make it work. But we couldn't. And so we went our separate ways. However, when you're a pastor, and this is what a lot of people don't know about my life, right? This is where a lot of people miss out. Dude, when you're a pastor and you get divorced, how the church handles it is a very big deal. And this old organization that I work for, huge organization. Dude, I was on TV, bro. I was on TV. I was on radio. Dude, I was in front of thousands of people on a weekly to monthly basis. Thousands. I mean, like, when we did our youth conference, I mean, dude, there's like, I think like 15,000 kids there. and I would perform at that youth conference. So I was very visible. Dude, I went to Mexico, and it's like, hey, I know you. I saw you I saw you on TV. And, like I'm on
Bro.
vacation. Till this day, it still happens. It still happens, dude.
That's
I'll go
awesome.
out. I'll go out in another county or in another town or in another state, and if I see a Hispanic person, I'll be like, I know who you are. I remember you. And so when that happened, dude, they fired me, and I begged them to not fire me. So they fired me. But here's the kicker right here: when you fire a pastor who's only pastored, it's almost impossible to go get another job.
Yep.
It's almost impossible to go get another job corporately. It's almost impossible to get. It's harder to get a job with another church because now you're kind of looked at as a failure. And then, dude, I so lost the house, lost vehicles, lost all of my friends were within the church. Lost almost, I would say, like 95% of the people in my life were now kind of looking at me like the plague.
Mm.
And that's not to like victimize myself, but it's just that the organization that let me go, they did not allow me to get up in front of my community and say, hey guys, I'm stepping down because of divorce. Everything is okay. We just could not figure it out. We're parting ways. She's okay. I'm okay. We disagree. We had disagreements. They didn't allow me to do that. Here's what happened. One day I was there, the next day I was gone. And so when you do something like that, people start saying, oh, you know, he stole money, or I heard he had an affair, or I heard she did this, and so, dude,
Yeah.
it got to the point where my mom, like, I'm a 28-year-old man. I didn't ask her to, but like she stepped in and she called them and she lit them up. She's like, what you, and so it was messy, bro. It was messy. And I found myself at the age of 27, once again, like ground zero. No money, dude, no car, nothing to my name, bro. I had quit my previous job to work at this church. Like, I quit with, I said, Lord, I'm going to quit my job because I believe you're going to give me a job at this church. I quit my job. 2 weeks later, he gave me the job. Well, fast forward 3 years, and I've lost the job. I've lost everything else. And that's one part of my life that a lot of people don't know about, man. And that's where it got really messy right there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, thank you for sharing that, because like what I'm taught, at least from where my learnings growing up, and only not so much growing up, and more like later early adulthood, was you got to find the message in the mess, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like look for the message in the mess. But when you're in the mess, it's
Oh yeah, it's hard to find.
dude,
Yeah, it's hard to find.
you're the bottom of a barrel. Like, dude, I'm stuck down here with no ladder. So how did you pick yourself up from that? Because I mean, that is what they did to you, was a death sentence. I'm not
Mhm. Oh
telling
yeah, yeah.
you are a victim, but like, I'm not gonna, victim, whatever the newfangled way of talking is. What I'm saying is they did you super dirty. Like, that's
Yeah.
super foul.
Yeah.
So where did you go? Like, is it back to mom and dad's? How did you go fishing? Like, where'd that end up?
Dude, so I had funny enough, bro. One thing I do have to say from that previous marriage is like, one thing, I'll never forget this, dude. This impacted me so much. We were pulling up to church one day and she looked at me and she goes, you don't match. This doesn't. So going back to, remember in high school not fitting in,
Mm-hmm.
dude. So at this church, everyone was like super hipster, super cool, like
Oh
very
yeah.
like
Yep.
TV evangelists, like
Yep.
really cool with the hats and everything. And dude, I'd pull up in my like Dodge Ram with my camouflage mats. This is who I was, man. Like, I
Yeah.
still like to hunt, still like to fish. Never forget, man. She looked at me when they said, this doesn't match. It doesn't match. So, dude, I got rid of the camo. I stopped fishing. I got rid of the truck and got like a more, whatever car. And like, I look back at that, I'm like, man, I can't believe that. I can't believe I did that. But yeah, dude, after that, I wasn't fishing, wasn't going outside. mean, I was miserable. I would go one day, bro, I'd be like, man, God's got me. And then it's like the next day I'd be like, you know, what the hell? What the hell? I hate this. I hate God. I hate people. I hate everybody. I'm gonna go drink myself to sleep.
Mhm.
Dude, it was hard, bro. Like I struggled so much because I didn't know how I was gonna pay the bills, dude. I didn't know who my like who was gonna be able to help me to like nobody wanted to hire me. Dude,
No.
I went to so many interviews, like and like, secular jobs, non-secular jobs, like, dude, nobody wanted to hire me. Man. So I became a trainer and you know, started training people in the gym. So what I did is like I got in really great shape, phenomenal shape within like 3 months, so that then I could train other people. And
Mhm.
dude, that's what I did for a little while. But in the middle of all that, dude, it was very unhealthy, very toxic behavior during those couple of years for me.
Yeah.
I was so broken, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. And I'm not gonna say nothing against it. I've had that era of my life as well. Dude,
Yeah.
and it's so crazy to look at back at the situation now, right? You look back at it and you go, man, I was so toxic. It was so gross. Like my behavior is unbecoming of who I am now. But
Yeah.
yet, if we didn't go through those portions of our lives, we wouldn't be the whole person that we are now, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
it's crazy. And so where were you led after this? I mean, you're doing the personal training, bad time in life. When did you decide, okay, you know what? I'm gonna pick back up. I'm gonna go get a job. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
get back on the horse. Where did that fall into line for you? Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're definitely in a wonderful place now. Like you're
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
blessed as hell, So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we all go through our tribulation. Like we could talk about Job all day. Like
Oh yeah.
you went through the mud. You got drug into it and you went through it. So where did you end up? How did what is the step that changed that portion of your life to where you are now?
Yeah, so I met my wife, man, and at the time we started talking, and this was like 2018 February, and we obviously were both in a broken place, and we kind of we started getting serious about each other, and as we got serious with each other, dude, we had a one night where we just ended up having this encounter with the Lord because we prayed together. I mean, we were crying together. It like we were just sobbing, bro, about like wanting to have a closer relationship with God. And that night, dude, we had such a powerful like time of prayer for real. Like, dude, I mean, imagine you're dating this beautiful girl, and you know she comes from a Christian home, and you're a mess, and then all of a sudden, like you're sitting in your living room, and you literally feel like the tangible presence of God, and you start praying, and like you guys start like, dude, we started just, I mean, like understanding that God had brought us together for a purpose. We both truly believe that. And that night we went, and I had a friend of mine, pastor who was still very close. He prayed for us, and dude, I quit my training business after like 2 years. The next day, I quit because that industry is super toxic, man. It's very it's an unhealthy place for a married person or an engaged person or anyone to be in. Dude, I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Mhm.
So dude, literally, I called after that night of prayer. I called all my clients and said, "Hey, I'm done. I'm gonna go. I'm going back to like when I was in college. I'm going back to pursuing the Lord." And so her dad helped me. I love my in-laws. They are incredible people. They housed me. They fed me. You know, as my wife and I were dating and we got engaged, they were so helpful. Uh, Her dad helped me get a job at a Swiss-based company here in Georgia, and dude, we made synthetic rubber. And bro, I was like a machine operator, and dude, I was like back to shoveling crap, smelling horrible. Like I had gone from like being the, you know,
Hipster.
living what I thought, yeah, living what I thought was my dream. I had this awesome little office every morning. I'd have my little Starbucks, and like my job was to preach in front of cameras and preach to people. And like my job was to go hang out with people and like just, you know, help them get through life. And then I became a trainer, and I was, you know, that was also very like, and now I'm back to like in the shadows, dude. Like literally, dude, literally shoveling crap. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Janitor,
Like,
machine operator.
yeah. And so, and dude, I mean, that was so hard, man. That was so hard to be there again, to be 29 and going through that. And I just, man, from that moment on, dude, I think my whole thing throughout my whole life is no matter what I've gone through, man, I just haven't let go of my relationship with God. I may fight with him, right? And I may, yeah, dude, I may yell at him, like I may do the whole David thing and cry out and be like, why have you abandoned me? But the next day I'll be like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good. And so,
David was bipolar as hell, by the way.
I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, man, you know, I started going outside again, started fishing a little bit. And every year at that company, I was super driven. I was still reading that's another thing I never abandoned, was like self-discipline, self-growth, reading books, learning, adapting. And every year at that company, I was promoted. So I worked there for about 6 years. Yeah. And every year I went from like machine operator to like quality to process engineer to, you know, process engineer and quality lab coordinator to eventually I became the manager of the entire department. And then I managed multiple departments on my last year. And so I got to this point where they were flying me to Switzerland. You know, I was getting a very nice salary now, incredible benefits, a bonus. I mean, and then, you know, they were paying my college, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got up to that point, and dude, I was very, very comfortable. I was very comfortable. And but I was not, I knew the entire time I was climbing up, I knew that God had something different for me. And I never let that go. I knew that this was only temporary. However, dude, I got so comfortable. I was like, maybe I'll just stay here, you know, like maybe I'll just end up being the manager of this whole thing and just live very comfortably, have like my 4 weeks of vacation every year and get my 10K, 15K, 20K bonus every year. But dude, the Lord, you know, I said, God, if it's your will, you know, let it be. And if not, I literally said, if it's not, I said, get the wheels turning and get me out of here. Mm-hmm. Well, bro, they hired some like, you know, manager. I was very close to being the top person there. You know? They hired this guy. He came, dude, he disliked me so much. And that, dude, is what started the process in the last couple of years, pushed me into like doing what I do now full time. And so, dude, I literally prayed. I said, Lord, make a way for me to transition out of here. But at the same time, I'm so comfortable. Like, please, like, let's figure this out. And dude, I told my wife the other night, like, that guy coming and showing up the way that he did, it's like I said earlier in this conversation. Sometimes like what you think is like the worst thing that could be happening to you is actually like the best thing if you allowed God to work with it. And bro, he came, he disliked me very, very much. And other people would tell me, hey, this guy's like, he's trying to get rid of you, dude. Like even, you know, my father-in-law, he's a very wise and practical man. And dude, he's not going to lie to me. He's always so brutally honest with me. And I love it. And he even told me, he's like, dude, like, Luis, this guy is like not, you know, something's up with him. And
this motherfucker hates you, by the way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, he put me on this 90-day plan. He was like, he gave me a failing department, literally. Department had nobody in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he had fired this other manager, and it was a horrible mistake. When he fired that manager, the entire department left. Department was falling apart. Yeah, he gave it to me. He said, fix it. And bro, when I tried to fix it my way, he wouldn't let me. He kept getting in my way. And I always thought it was so weird. And he wouldn't. And if anybody here has ever had a bad boss, I mean, you guys understand what I'm talking about. Like a legitimate, difficult person. He shows up every morning, and dude, you're just like, what is this guy's deal? That was that guy. And ironically enough, after I got fired, he got fired. So I mean, brutal, brutal. But dude, I will end all my long ranting with this, man. I feel like I've gone on for a minute now.
Yeah,
But
no,
I
you're
will.
good, dude.
Yeah, I will end with this, dude. I'll give you this. I'm doing this 40-day devotional now. It's called Draw the Circle. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No, but I'm about to look it up when we get
Amazing.
out of here. Yeah.
Amazing. So, dude, when I started going through this process at my job, dude, I had anxiety. I was so stressed out, dude. I mean, I was getting calls from work at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Machines were falling apart. Like the company is still like just a wounded, bleeding animal. Like, and I'm like, if I don't fix this, how am I going to provide for my family? I'm trying to like get my wife to work less, not more. My dream is to bring my wife home. And so, dude, I started this 40-day devotional. And it's about being resilient in prayer and just like not letting go of like, you know, that communication with the Lord. And so, dude, I started it, and I kid you not, man, when I ended it, I went into my last 90-day review with the manager
Yeah.
with so much peace. I went in fasting too. I went in fasting. So I went in for my 90-day, and like that was it. That 90-day was like, hey, either hey, we're good, you did it, or it's like, nah, you know, next steps we're gonna fire you or something. And I went in, bro, and he was like, this ain't working. This ain't working. And you're not doing your job. And I said, I said, look at that. I said, and I looked out internally. I was like, why don't you just fire me? You jerk. Like, just
Yeah. Oh, you can,
yeah,
not that you
yeah.
swear, but you can swear on this one. Like I swear.
Oh
like,
no, no,
yeah.
dude. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, why won't you just fire me? You. And so, dude, I went home and I told my wife, I don't know why he won't fire me. And I don't know if he just wants to keep me miserable or like find a replacement first. I was like, but he essentially told me today, like you failed your 90-day. Like there's nothing left but firing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, told my wife, I said, I think if I quit and I just go do social media, I think I can do this, babe. And dude, she looked at me and she said, do it. She said, run it. I mean, my wife's from Jersey, bro. She literally said, she said, run it. She said, do it.
Yep.
Bro, I went in the next day. This guy, he was very toxic, very explosive with his feelings, very hot headed. Dude, I went in the next day. He wasn't there. Bro, cleaned out my desk, cleaned out all my emails. Dude, I peacefully put everything in a box. And I asked God for this one thing. I said, Lord, don't let me leave here the way I left that church when I was fired. Let me leave here with my head held up high and in peace.
Yeah.
And dude, when I showed up the next day, he wasn't there. Oh, I got to say goodbye to everyone. I got to hug everyone. I got to smile with everyone. And they're like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to provide. And then there was this, my partner manager that's next to me. He was like, man, I wish I could believe in God. He's atheist. He was like, I just wish I had the ability to say, man, God's going to provide. And because he's very practical. Okay. He's a very practical mindset. And he said, what are you going to do? Aren't you not? I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, no. I was like, God is going to make a way, Phil. I was like, he's going to provide for me. And he was like, I don't know what that means. He's like, but I wish I had that. And dude, goodbye to everybody. Emailed him. I said, hey, emailed the CEO and everybody in Europe. I said, guys, this is my last day. Man, he came in that mug and he said, get out of here. You fired. Yeah. I said, this is my 2-week notice. This is my but here's the thing, dude. I said, this is my 2-week notice, but I already knew he was going to come by, get all and fire. Oh, yeah. Bro. So he drove in like a hurricane and he said, you're fired. I was like, perfect. I was like, everything's already cleaned out. I said goodbye to everybody. I was like, perfect. I was like, I want you to know. I was like, you are the worst boss I have ever worked for. Dude, I quit. Entire department quit with me.
That's
I mean, just the exclamation point. Just the exclamation point. The entire department quit with me. They were like, "You're quitting?" I was like, "I'm leaving." And they all started cleaning their stuff up and they left, dude.
Dude, I love that. Like, don't
Dude,
you feel vindicated? You're like,
I,
oh,
I do. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I do feel vindicated. You know, like
yes.
I've learned in my life, don't go looking for revenge. Don't
No.
worry. But you know, like, don't worry about it. It'll get taken care of. Like, dude, it is a rule of life that, like, if you just live your life well, treat others well, do it, you know, life's not going to be perfect, but at the end, there's always going to be a way where, like, you'll be blessed because of that. But yeah, dude, that's how I got here to what I'm doing now and having this conversation with you, bro. It's been such a long journey, and a lot of people don't know that about my life.
No, I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Dude, and thank you for sharing all this because I mean, what everybody sees is the best vibe that I've seen come to fishing in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, don't get me wrong. I got like buddies who do this stuff and I love their videos and I love their stuff. But the vibe that you have brought into fishing with you is next level. Like from the soundtrack to the ideas that you have in your videos, whether it's the humor or the drive content, or just you stopping and just preaching. Like it's a whole vibe that you've brought that is super refreshing, at least to me.
I
So,
appreciate that.
dude,
Yeah.
thank you. And to know the history behind it is like, dude, you're making me like happy as hell, dude. Like my heart is full from this. I appreciate you, dude. That's
I'm
amazing.
glad, man. I'm glad. I really am. And that's, dude, that's why I don't mind sharing. I feel like I have to share. Like, I think people sometimes are like, why don't you like want to keep that to yourself? Isn't I'm like, no, why what do I have to be embarrassed about that I'm a human being? Like, what does it matter, man? Who doesn't live this life, rich or poor, brown, white, whatever, without making mistakes, having ups and downs and like looking for a greater purpose in this life? Who goes through this life like a robot? Nobody. Nobody, man. We've all been through things. And so I feel like, dude, I feel like it is my responsibility. Like it is my return to what God has done in my life to tell people, hey, like, get out here and live. Like, you know, like, get out here and live this life as beautifully as you can. I mean, we only get it one time. And that is literally it. So, but yeah, man, I don't mind sharing at all. I hope it helps someone.
Dude, it does. And honestly, how I really I felt like more, how do I say it? I felt more led to have longer conversations with you as I started listening to your podcast. You have a weekly podcast, Kayak Fishing
Mhm.
Weekly, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you talk on this podcast, like this is the content that I love and relate to is you talk about being not just a better angler, but a better human. And that's the whole
Mhm.
goal. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like catching fish. Don't get me wrong. And I love watching people on social media catch fish. That's awesome. But at the end of the day, like I'm a man, I'm a father. I
Mhm.
own my own business. I wear a lot of hats, dude. And all I want to do is be a better dude.
Yeah.
All I want to do
Yeah.
is whether it's a better relationship with my creator or a better relationship with my wife or a better relationship with my children. That's all I seek, as a human is to be better. So, and you emphasize that in your show. Like it's not every time, but you do bring that out. And I love it, dude. Where did that come from? Like, were you like, hey, Bailey, I'm going to jump on your network and I'm going to bring a show that helps people be better humans as well as anglers? Or was that just like an organic thing for you?
No, I live by this one thing, bro. There's a few core messages that I've held on to in my life. And the best way I can describe it is this: I want to be paid for being me. I want to be loved for being me. I want to be respected for being me. What that means is like, if you hire me, yeah, I get it. The term that we have to use is I'm hiring a host, or I'm hiring someone to do a video, or I'm hiring someone to preach. No, no, no. You're hiring me to be me. And what comes with me is these gifts and these talents. And so all you're seeing is a display of that. So bro, it doesn't matter if it's fitness, if it's social media, if it's kayak fishing, whatever. All these things are just tools and platforms, things that we enjoy. But at the end of the day, I want to use to like inspire other people. And that is it. Like, you know, I did an episode, it dropped yesterday, and like, you know, it was about kayak fishing, but it was mostly about like getting out there and pursuing your dreams, because the way I got to do that was through a kayak.
Yes.
So I love how these things bring us together, but like you said, at the end of the day, man, there's so much more. There's so much more to it. Fishing, kayak fishing, like all this other stuff, it's just a way to like, you know, it's how we relate to each other. It's something we're passionate about, and it connects us like glue.
Yeah.
But man, like you said, in, helping each other be better and like helping each other get through life. That's it, dude. That's what really matters.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I do have one more point. I'm going to give you a little bit of flowers real quick. There's a lot of things. I come from the skateboarding industry. All right. Like I did a lot of skateboarding for a long time.
Nice.
You know, vetted, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Point being is there's a lot of guys out there. I mean, there's Jordan Lees, there's Kevin Van Dams, there's, you know, Tommy Biffles. There's people that have like their own rods, their own reels. Like people have their own line of products. Rarely do you see a line of products. They're usually they're large lines, but they've taken a long time to get to, where somebody has a bait with their name on it. You have a bait, like you have your own bait with your name on it. Like, congratulations. That's
thanks, man. Thank you.
That's next level. Like you don't see that very often. So do you want to explain that, how that came about or anything? Or I know you kind of talked about it on your show. If you guys haven't listened, go to Kayak Fishing Weekly. It's every Thursday, right? You drop
every Thursday.
Yeah,
every Thursday.
Every Thursday. It's really awesome. But do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So dude, everything now at this age, right? You know, everything I do now is strategic as it can be. One of the things that I do is like I try to think about the people who are watching and listening. So I like genuinely, I will wake up and I will think about, okay, I have a platform that reaches this many people. Lord, I wonder what they're going through, what they're doing, how they're living. Lord, you know, I pray for them. I may not know everyone's names, obviously, but like, I'm like, okay, you know, what's it going to be today? Even if I make a funny video or something that you would think, oh man, this guy's an idiot. No, there's always a little something attached to the back end. And so, I made that bait, man, because I got to fish all over the Southeast, and I'm like, man, what a blessing. Like, dude, I got to fish Tennessee. I got to fish, you know, Tennessee muskie, striper. I got to go fish the Saluda in South Carolina, the French Broad, all these crazy rivers. And dude, I learned so much with a swim bait. I mean, I talk about it more on the episode, but like swim bait fishing is just runs parallel with life. It's like taking risk. It's having faith. It's like throwing the biggest bait for the biggest like fish. Like it ties to life. It ties to life, man. There's a lot of wins and failures in swim bait fishing, just like life. But at the end of the day, like you got to keep it locked in and keep throwing it, or else, you know, you'll miss out on that huge opportunity. So I was like, man, I would just love to make a swim bait that will work universally for the type of fishing that I do and the people that fish like I do. And so I connected with York and said, hey man, like, first, I asked him to like try some of his baits. Would love to try some of your baits, promote some of your baits, and he sent me a few. I got him down, used them every trip, and I was like, okay, I love this. And then I said, hey man, I'd love to do a collab color where, you know, I've got the chartreuse lateral line, the chartreuse tail, and like the little bit of blue glimmer. So like mimicking like shad, but at the same time still has this twist where like you can use it in stained water, you can use it in dirty water. And the goal is that you're looking for the most aggressive, active fish in your area. Cause dude, fishing these rivers, man, like I learned these fish will come from like 20, 30 feet in like a foot of water and come just T-bone 7-inch, 9-inch glide. And I'm like, I want people to experience that. I want them to see that. And that is the point of the chartreuse lateral line, is that I want people to have that experience and that joy of like oh my gosh, I just watched that giant fish come from like 20 feet out and just crush this thing. So yeah, man, that's how that went about.
They were like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, yeah, and well, funny enough, dude, he, and I don't think he cares that I share. He's such a cool dude. He's he's such a great dude. Um, Young dude, very smart, man, knows his stuff. And he said, dude, he's like, I get these. He gets that question a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
And I want to do it with you because he was like, you're authentic about your relationship with God.
Oh,
He's like, that's yeah. And I was like, man, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go, man. Like, so that was like, we talked and we talked about it. He was like, dude, he's like, I love that you're just being authentic. You're being real and true to yourself. And he's like, you're kingdom minded. And he's like, I'd love to work with you. So dude, I one of those things I pray is like, God, open those doors, make those connections, put the right people in my life, whether they believe in you or not, whether they're religious or not, put those people in my life. Like, yeah, man, that's pretty much how it came about. So I'm
that's
just
awesome.
super honored that people bought it, man. I mean,
Hey,
seriously, dude,
I'm waiting for the drop.
blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dropping April 3rd, bro. First Friday of April. They're dropping a few. Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for real.
Yeah, I have like 5 listeners. Like I wouldn't sweat it too hard. It's like my mom and my aunt. I'm just kidding. No, it's actually, I don't know why people listen to this show, but a lot of people listen. I don't get it. But point being is April 3rd, I'll be on the drop. Trust me. Like I've been messaging him and a few other people. I tried to get a couple other people at the classic. I'm like, hey, I will send you money. Go get this thing. And they're like, oh, if I can get over there, because they're all working, so they can't give up and leave. But yeah, I'm like, just please, if you got a second, I will pay you and shipping. Just give me one. Cause I have made that turn in the last year and a half where it's like, I got about 4 big rods and they all got fun baits on them all the time.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
It's good. Now it's just a matter of fitting them in my kayak with my other 200 rods. I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
I'm like guacamole, dude. I'm a little extra when it comes to my kayak. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot on there. So, okay, dude. First off, thank you for doing this, man. Like, I really appreciate you getting up and like taking time out of your day to like chat with me. I genuinely appreciate it. And I know that the people that listen will absolutely love this episode. So thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I do have a question round.
Yeah. Come on.
It ain't like it's not like Paul and Jeff. It's not like Bass and Bruce questions where we're gonna ask you like, marry, fuck, kill or anything like that. But like, it is genuine questions, and I feel like I wrote these questions myself. No AI. I'm a weirdo because I'm very selfish. Like this whole podcast is kind of a selfish endeavor. If we really want to be honest, like I want to know more about the people that like.
Yeah.
I want to know more about other people in this industry and people that I have that share a passion with me, and like how can I become a better person? And in turn, the people that have been listening, there is a large group of people that hit me up like, "Thank you, like this has changed a lot with me." So awesome, first question in the question round, if you will, who's your favorite angler and why?
Mike Iaconelli, man.
Hell
yeah, Mike Iaconelli, dude, because. He's a great angler, but he's no KVD. However, I relate a lot to him because I tell people all the time, like, you see me doing this, look, I'm not the best angler in the world. I've gotten pretty good at it. I mean, I've got pretty sweet at, what I do, like awesome. But yeah, I'm no KVD, man. And dude, I'm totally okay with that. But like his energy, his passion, and his ability to like build an entire brand the way he did and bring excitement to the sport. I grew up and the first pro angler I saw in a live tournament, I don't know if it was like ESPN or so, I can't remember what network. It was on a Saturday. It was Mike Iaconelli, dude. And so like I would watch Mike and then I'd get his rods from like, I think they had him, I can't remember where I got him at. It was like I think he was at Walmart, man. He had like this signature spinning reel and rod combo. Dude, I'd go hit the golf course after watching him, like, and it was awesome, bro. So like, if you watch my videos now, I do the same thing. I don't care. People sometimes they'll come and be like, you're screaming and yelling over a 2-pound bass. I'm like, that's right. I'm gonna keep doing it. So Yeah, Mike Iaconelli, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I love it. I can just imagine you out there. It's golf's all quiet. Everybody's just get you on the green. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
It
That's
happened
so
a couple
awesome.
times. It happened a couple times.
I do it. I do it. I actually, I'll send you an audio. It's terrible. When my kids catch fish, like
Yeah.
my
Oh,
voice
yeah.
jumps like 7 octaves, so I sound like my wife. Basically, I'm like,
Yeah.
you did a good job. It's terrible.
Love it.
Okay. Now here's a new question. Who's your favorite fishing personality?
Oh man. I mean,
Because I feel like that's different now. I feel like
it's
social
almost
media has helped change that.
yeah. Dude, that's a tough one, bro. I'm gonna have to go with John B because of his ability to storytell, and I love just to storytell. I love painting a picture, telling a story through communication, through video. So I really like that about him. Just authentic storytelling.
I love it. Yeah, dude. He is really good. Like he is.
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
Yep. When I got into fishing, it was like they were popular and he was the one that I followed the most. Like for the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
reason. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Oh
care
yeah,
about going to Walmart and getting a kid's rod and throwing a tuna hook on it and seeing
yeah,
me
yeah.
like, man, that's not my game. Okay. If you could spend a day with anyone, time does not is not reality here. If you could spend a day with anyone, who is it and what would you do?
Well, man, as a Christian, the easy out is to say Jesus,
Yep.
but I would go. Dude, I'm gonna go with David, bro, because of how insane he was. But he was awesome too, and I feel like him a lot of times. There's so many times where, dude, I've kept the journal for like 10 years since I got saved, and I'm saving them for my children. So every day I get up and I journal, and dude, I'll go read through those journals, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, like no wonder David seems like such a psychopath. Like if we would all just journal everything we went through and how we felt, like transparently, and just left it there for people to read and be like, well, this person's insane. So yeah, I mean, definitely David. Yeah.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I say Jesus just because I got a lot of questions that I just need answered.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and as much as I listen, I don't get the answers that I'm looking for. I just want them directly answered because I'm selfish, I guess I'm
Same,
born
bro.
that way.
Same.
Yeah. All right. What's your biggest fear, dude? What holds you up?
Oh man, living a life without purpose, dude, is my absolute biggest fear, dude. Is that I would get to the end of my life and look back and be like, dang, I didn't do anything. Like living an empty life. That is my absolute. There's so many men in my life, dude, that I've always they've just the men in my life, bro, they were just always so defeated, bro.
Yeah.
So like gave up on their passions, gave up on like what they loved, or like gave up on like being in shape and staying fit and like living this life. And they would always tell me, oh, when you get older, you'll see, like, you'll have to grow up and get a real job. And, oh, you can't always go to the gym. Like, once you get married, you'll get really fat. And I'm like, man, what in the world, dude? So that they are my fear. Ending up like them is my fear, bro. Like, if I could be, real, I look at all the men in my life, dude, and they're some of them are good, some of them not so great, but like they're all defeated. Like, and when I say the men in my life, I mean like fathers, or uncles, and just people I know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, that is one of the most healthy things that I've heard. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't like small spaces and spiders, but that is spiritually, mentally, physically one of the most healthy things that I've heard. Like, I
Yeah.
love that. That's
No,
amazing.
dude, I lose sleep. So yeah. Yeah.
I gained a carb.
Yeah.
25
No,
seconds, and I'll go
man,
back to
no,
it. Yeah.
no, dude, it's not that. It's like, oh man, did I do enough today? Like, did I do enough to, like, did I do anything impactful? That's what keeps me up. Yeah.
Dude, I love it. So small window. I have a thing that I don't do every day that I should. It's called 10 step. And basically I write an inventory of that day. I'm supposed to talk about where I was dishonest, where I was,
Yeah, that's good.
whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I go through and I find, what the next question is going to be. This is a question that I've added because we're at season 3 at this point. But it's called character defects, and what people think is character defects is what do they call it? Habitual lying, or this, that, or the other. Also selfishness, self-centeredness, things like that. Do you have a character defect that you have turned into a character asset, which one of your weaknesses become one of your strengths?
All of them, bro. All of them, dude. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. What people see now, I guess, is like, I guess very polished, very well spoken. If that's, I guess. But man, but going back to David, David is my favorite, person in history. And if you look at David's life, man, his strengths were also his weaknesses, right?
Yes.
And I think that goes for a lot of us. And dude, I'm telling you, man, like, if you see that I'm like disciplined, a lot of people will tell me, dude, you're disciplined. I'm like, dude, you should see why. It's because I was the most undisciplined person in the world. Or like, it's like, dude, you're so level-headed. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You have no idea. I am the most ill-tempered person in the world. If I allow that to happen. And dude, if I could just be really transparent and honest, I have given, not in this perfect, nice little Christian way. Like, dude, I'm telling you, I've been a mess before, And so I've asked God, take all these messy things and help me refine them for good, and help me refine them so that I can, live that purposeful life. So dude, like, when I say all of them, I mean it, like all of them.
I love it. Dude, I love it. You learn. So I have a sponsor, and he says turning your trash into treasure, and that's exactly what you're talking about. Like, I love that. It is, and it is the hardest thing, because
oh yeah, dude. Oh,
yeah. I get it. Like, there's a psycho, and to be able to hone that and be like, you know what? There's a reason why I have routine. There's a reason why I get up at a certain hour every day, and I don't talk. I give my time, to start my day a specific way. That helps me throughout the day. I don't like being in a rush, things like that. It's just, I love it. Awesome answer. All right, here's one. Have you ever been broke because of fishing?
dude,
Like,
man.
I have $5. Do I get tacos or Senkos?
Oh man, no, not yet. Oh my gosh, no, not yet. I've never gotten to that point. Thankfully, dude. Thankfully, I've never gotten to that point.
Okay. What's your biggest struggle in life right now? What's the hurdle that you're trying to accomplish?
Biggest hurdle right now is building a legitimate business with like multiple streams of income so that I can bring my wife home. That is the biggest, not like, that is the biggest challenge I'm facing right now, is like continuing to grow this without losing impact, continuing to, provide for my family. But now, like, next level, like, okay, let's bring my wife home. She's going to do this with me. She's going to help me run these operations, these logistics, all this stuff. And yeah, that's the biggest thing I'm praying through right now. Yeah.
Dude, blessings to you. I'm there where it wasn't a goal. Well, it was a goal to bring my wife home. My wife is home, and her job is logistics and kids. Like,
yes.
Logistics of kids, like that,
Yes.
in the household.
And,
that is it.
yeah, and that's what she wants, bro. My wife is the most intentional mother. Like, like that's what she wants, and that's what she feels God has called her to, is like she doesn't want to be a TikTok star. She doesn't want that. She wants to help me build this out so we can live a life full of, freedom, time with our family, and being here at home with the kids and raising them up. So yeah, dude, we're close. We're very close. She's gone from full-time to part-time. And the goal now is that after, this next baby, she's not going back to work. So I don't know. You guys are hearing it on this podcast right here, right now. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that woman's not going back to work. I'm telling you right now. I'm putting it in God's hands, dude. And I'll do what I can, but the rest is in God's hands.
Congratulations. That is, if you need anything, I'm here for you. If you need anything at all, don't even hesitate. Like my phone is always on, as you know.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Likewise, dude. Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, what is your in skateboarding?
Mhm.
Guys jumping down 20 stairs or grinding the biggest rail, they call them hammers, right?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
hammer.
Yeah.
So fishing, it's a little different, but basically it's an accomplishment, right? So what is your life hammer, dude? What's your major life accomplishment? And when I say that, this is like a healthy pride moment. You can beat your chest on and be like, I did this, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I did this.
What is is this fishing related or just life related?
Anything. It could be
I
fishing, it
wanna
could be
really-
life. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I don't have one of those, man. Because look, dude, I'm selfish too, man. I want to do it all, bro. Like, yeah, I'm drawing a huge blank, bro. I am. You can ask my wife. Like, she's like, it's never enough for you, and I'm like, no. So, I would say, man, if I could think of one thing just very quickly here, like, one thing I do want to do is I want to, just for the sake of it, just to like honor that little kid that used to watch fishing in the living room when I was younger. If I could get to the kayak classic and do well, like I would be very happy with, like, little me would be very ecstatic. But other than that, dude, I mean, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but everything is within reach. And so it's just a matter of being persistent and, again, letting God do his part and I do mine. And yeah, we can get there. So yeah, but if there's that one little like special thing, yeah, doing well in like the kayak class would be really cool for me.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. Let's put that out there for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's a great way to put it out there too. Letting God do what God does, as long as you do the footwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that gets misconstrued a lot. Like people are like, oh,
Mhm.
God will fix it. You got to do stuff too.
You got to do something.
Yeah, you have to keep your feet moving. Like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
normal thing. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever learned a lesson on the water that you've implemented in your life, or vice versa?
Oh Lord, every day, dude. I mean, the water is like just like life, dude. I mean, oh my gosh. Yes, dude. The answer is yes. I've learned many, many lessons on the water that relate to life. Yeah.
Have you ever had the vice versa, where you've learned something in life that you've been able to be like, look, I'm gonna try that in fishing, like that mindset or whatever?
Not as much. Not as much. I mean, there's a couple of things, like very generic things, like being adaptable and trying new things and stuff like that. But most of the lessons that hit me like that are when I'm on the water and I'm like, oh man, this really relates to life. Yeah.
Yes. I find that I learn more on the water than I do in life. And because for fishing, I don't know what fishing is for you, but fishing for me is my reset. It's my
Mhm.
time of
Mhm.
not just reflection, but like basically I scrub my brain of all the life going on, and I just get a chance to be open-minded and fish, and from
Yeah.
the spirituality and the mental health that I get from that, like I take back into my life. You can ask my wife. I am, especially right now, I'm nuts. I'm absolutely bananas. I've not been able to go, like I've just been stuck, but I get a day
Yeah.
of fishing and I come back and I'm just like, you know what? Like,
Yeah.
I just have a total reset on life. I'm like, here, let me do this. Let me take care of this. Why don't you just go lay down, or this, that, or the other? I got this handled. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to repipe the garage. I'm going to, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just okay. Everything's all right after that. So at least for me, it's a reset. I don't know. What is fishing for you? Is it a reset, or is it like, I mean, I know it's kind of a job now, but do you actually still get that moment? It's actually coming in another question, but do you get that moment out there where it's just you?
It's just, for me, it's play, bro. My whole life I've hated working. And dude, I just want to like do, and I just want to play. I just want to be outside, either whether we're playing, like, I don't care. It could be beach volleyball, frisbee, we could be hunting, we could be fishing. I just want to be with the people that I love and play. Like, and I know that may sound a little weird as an adult, but that's actually literally like that's literally what it is, like the very raw nature of it. Like, it is like, you're a child and it's like you spend your whole life getting ready to grow up. And I'm like, for what? Like,
Mhm.
so for me, it's like straight, like play. It's like when I was a kid and I got to go out and like have fun. That's what it is for me. Like, I'm going out there. and yell and go down rapids and get wet and do whatever. It's just play. Yeah.
Dude, thank you for saying that, because I feel like that is an unsaid thing that nobody wants to say. Thank you for being genuinely honest there.
Yeah,
Like,
especially for men, like, it's kind of, it is, but man, that's what it is, dude. Like, it's gonna sound a little weird. Someone can clip this, but dude, men need to go like play, like outside, like touch dirt,
yes,
go do whatever, go hang out with the guys, like
yeah,
laugh really, really hard, have a good time. Like, yeah, that's what fishing is for me. Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, I got a job in construction because I don't do good at school. It's basically playing for me. Sure, there's heavy lifting days, but for the
Mhm.
most part,
Yeah.
yeah, I just play with. It sounds gay. I play with wood all day. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and I love it. Like, some days I don't like it as much, but dude, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm out there playing. You know,
That's awesome.
don't let my wife hear this, because she'll be like,
Yeah. What's going on?
all right, man. So, what's the biggest mental or emotional block for you? Like, what really like shuts you down?
Oh, not being enough. Like, I always get in my own way, and my wife has to remind me, like, I have a hard time, bro. Like, and I'm having a hard time now. So, like at the classic, people would like come up to me and tell me, like, "Hey, man, like, thank you for the podcast," or "Hey, I love your videos." Dude, I had like multiple people ask me to sign their stuff, and I'm like, "Oh man, like, hey, you want me to sign that?" Dude, I just have this. Yeah, I have a hard time like valuing myself till this day. Like, am I enough as a father, as an angler, a content creator, a business owner? Um, and I really, I sometimes I let that get in my own way, and I forget like how like God has allowed me to do some great things in this life, and He's done some great things for me. So yeah, that's my biggest like one.
Dude, first off, I'm going to tell you you're enough. You're not going to hear it, but I'm going to tell you you're more than enough, because
Appreciate that.
you just are. Being led by the Lord the way you have, like, if there's one thing I've learned, God doesn't pick you up to drop you. He picks you
Right?
up and
Yeah.
he puts you at the next level of struggle, but he doesn't
Yeah.
pick you up to drop you. That just
Right.
never happens. But I will say, most people feel that way and they don't admit it. And the way that you have described your life and how the fighting for every inch to get to where you're at now, like, it proves that you are. And the reason why you continue to drive as hard as you do, like, dude, you are a very intentional dude. You are a pusher. You make the moves. You make sure that things are happening the way they're supposed to happen, because you let God in. You let God do what
Mhm.
God does, but you don't stop moving. That drive, that feeling of not being enough, is the thing that gives you the drive. That's your defect turning into an
Mhm.
asset right there. That's amazing,
Yeah.
dude. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So where does fishing fit into all this now? Like, no cameras. Do you do it?
Mhm.
Do you just go?
I will go at this point in my life. I will go to like a pond that's close by, and I'll throw the swim bait or whatever and just hang out. And that's what I get to do. I do it every once in a while, maybe like once a week. I'll literally just go for like 30 minutes and just kind of,
Yeah.
walk around, fish, no like chesty on or anything. So yeah, that's what I do right now.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody needs it.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like being in the fishing industry and doing it for a living, like, you need it even more, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. All right. So, last two questions. Tell us one thing about you that nobody knows, but like a window into who you are.
Well, hey, Bobby, no one knows. Um, Window into who I am. I am a very good poet. Very good at writing. Yeah, very good at writing poetry and doing spoken word. Um, like to the level of doing it in front of like hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So there's some people don't know about me. I will say that I am a really good writer. Yeah,
That's awesome.
almost no one knows that about me.
Dude, I love that. And you have all girls in your house. So you're just you are a winning combo right now. You can just write daughters little love letters for lunch and
That's right.
just
That's right.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm the worst with words. Trust me. I throw a lot of F's and S's and all sorts of stuff in there. My kids are like, what? All right. So last question. It's a 3-parter.
Mhm.
What do you do for your health? What do you do for your hydration? What do you do for your diet? And what do you do for your mental clarity?
Dude, mental clarity. Okay, I try to tell people I don't wake up. People think I'm very oriented the way I live. I'm not, I don't wake up and like, this is my goal. I wake up and the one thing I need to do first is like get with the Lord. I need to pray. I need to write. I need to listen to one worship song. That is it. Once I do that, that is the center and the driving engine of everything else I will do in that day. You know what I'm saying? Like that is it. That is the one thing I do for like for my emotions, my my mental health, like everything. That gets me aligned. And the rest of the day, once I've done that, I've succeeded. I'm not looking for success on a daily basis. I'm working from a place of success. And so that changes everything. So I do that for my mental health. Um, hydration and diet, bro. After, after 8 years of seriously being in the gym, because I used to work out, but it's been 8 years where I go at least 5 times a week. So I go to the gym 5 times a week. If I travel, I take my jump rope with me. I do like calisthenics. And then for like our diet, we meal prep here. Saturday, Sunday, we'll meal prep for the whole week. And it's like very healthy snacks. Funny though, I try to tell people I eat like 6 times a day because they're like, you're still in shape. No, you got to eat. Like you got to eat,
Yeah.
get active. Yeah. So, I eat a lot and we've gotten to a point, my wife and I, where we don't have to like sit here and like pick, like we already choose healthy foods because we're in that, we've just been in it for so long and we'll do like our couple cheat meals a week, like two to 3 times a week. And then, hydration, bro, I literally drink like a gallon of water every day. Like sun up to sundown, I'm drinking water.
Dude, I love it. You ever
When
do
electrolytes? Yes, sometimes I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But bro, when I fish with people, dude, oh my God, man. Don't even get me like when I fish with Bailey or like Alex Rudd, or I even fish like the other spectrum, like his name's Senor Bass, huge Spanish influencer. Bro, these jokers, anybody, my buddy Taylor from Omega. Bro, no, I'm talking about, dude, I show up with an Arctic bag. I'm serious. I'm not joking. 2 chicken sandwiches, slammed to the brim, like chips, 2 protein bars, jerky, like 2 oranges. That's how I show up with a big old Yeti thing of water. Bro, these jokers never bring anything. And I'm like, yo, they don't get breakfast. I have to wake up. I've got to eat breakfast. I got to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Bro, they don't eat anything. They don't do anything. I'm like, what is wrong with you? All of them. Every angler I've ever ran into. I'm getting on my soapbox here because, dude,
No, it's good.
I end up having to like, I'm like, dude, do you want a sandwich, bud? Like, do you want to? I'm like, no, I'm good. And I've had like 2 monsters, like a little protein bar and a Cliff bar. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you guys are our industry. We all need help, bro. Yeah.
The point of this question. Yes, we all need it. Like I'm not going to say that I am not part of that group. But what I do is try not to be. Like I bring 2 jugs of water. One of them's full of element tea. Like if anybody's
Nice.
ever interested, I got you. Say less. I will mail you some boxes. Enjoy. It's very salty. It's not a sweet thing, but I'm not really into sweets when I'm out there on the water. I need salt, I need hydration, and I need some sort of context. So a protein of some sort, and I will smash, a lot of people don't understand what the human body goes through when you're standing in sun all day, even if you're just standing. People don't get it.
You're speaking facts right now, bro.
Yeah.
You're speaking facts. Yeah.
And that was the point of this question is like the general consensus is most people don't do much for themselves. And I'm like, oh, and at the end of the day, you're just exhausted, right? You're beat and then you're trash for the rest of the afternoon. You got to take a nap after fishing, right? And they're like, yeah, well, there's things that you could put into your body that would make you not tired and exhausted and
Yeah.
sunbeaten afterwards. So
Yeah.
hydration is one of them. I'm a huge hydration fan. So yeah, if you need
Absolutely.
anything, let me know. Elements wise, I got you. Say less. They do a lot for me here. This show has helped me with them incredibly. Shout out to Element, by the way. We still need to have a phone call again, I think at the end of the month, the end of next month. But yes, hydrate everybody. I swear to God.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that alone will change your perspective.
It's gonna fix so many. It's gonna fix so many things, bro.
Oh yeah, snap your brain.
It really will.
Yeah, dude. Please stay on that soapbox. If there's something that I'm missing here, like jump on it, because you are way more healthy than I am. But by all means, do you want to go ahead? Let's shout out where people can find you. Let's get it. Be able to connect with you later. Where you at?
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, real easy. North Georgia Fisherman. So it's North GA Fisherman. And then the podcast is Kayak Fishing Weekly. And it's, yeah, you can find me there. I mean, I've got a website as well, northgeorgiafisherman.com. I've got like, stuff that I've got apparel and products there that you can check out. So yeah, come holler, say hello. And, hopefully I've been able to add some value to anybody listening, man.
Dude, you've added. This is why I wanted you on to start season 3. You have added so much. I thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate you.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for the invite,
dude. Also, one more note: are you the one that does the Gorditas hat?
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, those are my hats.
I'm gonna get one of them. I saw one the other day, and I was like, "What,
dude? I got 2 left, man. I'm gonna save one for you. I got 2 left.
I'll order one. I'll order one when we get off the show for sure.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Thank you, Luis. Is there anything else that you want people to know? Is there anything else, like any message that you would like to leave with everybody?
Send it.
All right.
I don't know who you are or what you're going through or what your life looks like right now. I don't listen to me. It doesn't matter. Send it. Go live your life. Live. You get it one time and you won't get it back. So I hope you understand that there's a lot to life. And man, I hope everyone listening gets to do something they love. That's it, man.
Dude, thank you. All right, I'm gonna throw you in the green room. I'm gonna close this thing up, and we're gonna get out of here. So,
thank you,
I appreciate you, everybody. That was an amazing episode. Like, my cup has been filled today, and the day hasn't even started. So, thank you again, Mr. Delgado. Like, Luis, you're the man. And for everybody that's back to listen again, thank you for listening. And to everybody else out there, I'm just going to leave you with this real quick.
Go